How's it going, everybody? Rybread here today, and we are back with our Nashville Predators GM mode. I'm so ready for this one. We're about ready to get into the season here. I just want to show you guys what I did. I did take your advice, and I did make a couple of roster edits. Nothing crazy. I didn't make anybody too good, but I did make a couple changes as far as our team is concerned. So let's go ahead here. You know what? Let me just go to edit lines. I can show you from there. Most of what I did is very, very small. Okay, so the trades, I made them again. There is a slight variation in the CC trade, and I believe a slight variation in the trade for Raquel too. We actually got a pick out of it this time, so I'll just show you guys those trades in just a second. But I made Victor Arvidsson a medium top 6 forward, and I bumped his shooting category up there just a little bit. His passing and offensive awareness were already where I thought they should be, and I just bumped his accuracy, power, and stuff like that up to 88 for his wrist shot. I think they were at like 86 before, but since he scored 30 goals, I figured 88 was good. I didn't want to beef him up too much. Other than that, the forward core I think remained the same. Nothing else I changed with the forwards. Defensively, I did make Yossi a better defender, and I made Subban a worse defender. He was actually a minus this season, which, you know, I guess you can't really go based off of just plus minus. But I didn't think if you're a minus player during the regular season, you're worthy of having a plus 90 defensive awareness and defensive category. It's still 5 stars, but I dropped it to an 89, and his stick checking is at 87. Dropped his shot blocking a little bit, and I believe I rose Roman Yossi's shot blocking just a little bit, just because he had a ton of blocks this year. I also made Ryan Ellis an 86. I beefed his offensive numbers. He's now 89 passing, 89 offensive awareness, which I thought was good because he had a freaking good season. Maybe his slap shot power, his slap shot I touched just a little bit. Nobody else I really edited. There's CC guys. I can show you guys the trades in just a second, but this is the roster we should be heading into game number 1 with this season. I will stay with you guys this time during the simulation, just because it's the beginning of our new GM mode. So let's go ahead and stick around with our team. Oh, right. I made UC Soros a medium starter and an 81. I just bumped him up just a little bit. Nothing really crazy. The medium starter is probably the craziest thing I did, but he had a fantastic season this year. He still got some work to do, so I didn't make him like low elite or something like that. But I definitely think he will be a starter in this league. But it could go either way, so which is why I put him at the medium and not the low elite. Low starter is pretty bad potential. You're basically guaranteed to be a backup for your life if you're a low starter potential. So I gave him medium starter potential so he could grow to maybe an 84, 85, or even as high as an 86 for us, which is where I think he'd end up anyway. But we have Craig Smith up here over Colin Wilson, who I'm going to be on the 3rd line with Fisher and Parento. But I do think that if this second line isn't producing the way we want it to, I could slide Wilson up there. There's no reason in playing him any more than I want to, because his potential is only medium top 6, and he's 26, so he's not growing much. Anyway, so we got Forsberg again. I did not touch Forsberg, I don't think. I think he was pretty much this way. I didn't really edit a lot of players. I just touched, like I said, Subban's defensive awareness down 1 or 2, and then Yossi up 1 or 2 in specific categories. Then Ellis, you know, I bumped his passing and offensive awareness just up like 1 or 2 and bumped him to an 86. So I gave them what I thought they deserved. I didn't want to beef this team up too much, because then, you know, guys would be screaming at me like, oh, you just made it way too easy for yourself. And I did make any changes across the league, just because if I'm going to bump somebody's offensive awareness up by 1, I'm not going to do that across the league, because it's really not going to make that much of a difference. But potential guy like Victor Arvidsson should be a medium top 6. I think he was just getting slept on, so that was egregious to me, so I had to fix that. Other than that, though, guys, that is the changes we're going to make. I will turn down injuries. I think to an 8 would be a very, very good very good setting for them, because I think they start at 50 in net. Holy crap, that's just way too much. So let's go ahead and bump them down to 8. Hopefully they don't get too crazy. If we start having lots of injuries and I have to start cutting the video a lot, we'll bump those down to 7. But there we go, guys. Injury occurrence is now at 8 out of 100, which is ridiculous. Why should you have it at 8 out of 100? I don't know, but injuries off, because you guys know that's my rule for the preseason. And our locker room chemistry is actually up at 81%, even though we traded away Rene. I know some of you guys said that was a bad trade, but I'm pretty sure Gibson can grow to what Rene is going to be within the season, if not pretty darn soon after. Yeah, there we go. We all know the salary cap's at $74 million for the next like 18 years or something ridiculous like that in real life. But at least they added that in shell where it actually grows, because that's pretty nice. So let's go ahead and scout the WHL for 1 month. Actually get to look at some real prospects again, and get to see some real players in the league putting up real numbers. Pretty exciting. I definitely think this is a season, you know, I'm going to want to make a deep run, but I did kind of take away our cup hopes for this season a little bit by trading away Rene and Ribeiro for guys that I'm hoping will grow for the future. I'm looking for the future. Like I said, I want to make this team a perennial cup contender, and not just, you know, your average run-of-the-mill every once in a while. You win, and every once in a while, you know, you'll lose or something like. You guys know what I'm saying. It's not going to be an up and down one. I want this to be consistent playoffs, consistent success. I don't want to see this team fail too much. I want to see us make the playoffs almost every single season of this GM mode, which is what my goal is. So if you guys got any suggestions or ideas on how to make that happen, please let me know down in the comment section. And alright guys, let's go ahead and start simulating. We are going to get underway for the first month, and we have actually back-to-back games against Chicago, a home and home. So we'll have to see how we do against one of the better teams in the league. They're 1-1 so far, and we lost our home opener. Come on, guys! But holy crap, did we just have a bounce-back game after that in Chicago? A 7-2 win. Then we get shut out 2-0 versus Dallas. Very unfortunate there. Versus Detroit 1-4. We got to beat Detroit. Come on. A 7-0, oh my god, we just annihilated them. And a 3-1 win over Pittsburgh, which is a very, very tough team, as we all know. They always do well no matter what in franchise mode. So let's go ahead here and scout the OHL forwards for a month. I always like to scout Canada first because Canada's got the best prospects. It's a bit weaker than normal. I would agree with that. A lot of you guys ask Nolan or Nico, and I'm going to say Nolan only because he's been #1 for a while now. You're basically splitting hairs between the two guys, but I definitely think that Nolan Patrick, he's been unless something ridiculous happens, I think he's going to be the #1 pick overall. And there it is, guys, a very, very fine month for us, a 5-2-1 month. Not worth checking out the stats, though. Let's go ahead and simulate another month. We might actually get 3 months done in this video, which would be pretty exciting. A 2-1 loss to the... Are you freaking kidding me? We just lost 2-1 to the Avalanche. Against the Coyotes, though, we bounced back. Wait, were the Coyotes 7-3? Are they having a... Oh, that's right. They still have Datsuk. But still, that can't make that much of a difference. And then Carolina, we win 7-3. So, guys, the Nashville Predators, with what they should be, are a very, very good team. But then again, it is that frickin' Central Division. A 2-1 loss to the St. Louis Blues, who are a great team. Against Anaheim Ducks and Pekka Rinne, we lose. He gets his revenge there. Against Toronto, who's 11-4. But they've been getting a lot of love with the ratings, though. But we go ahead and beat an Eastern Conference foe 5-1. Then against Ottawa, we lose 6-3. A big, important Central Division game against St. Louis. Can we take it? They are 10-7-2, but we do. A 5-0 shutout win. Very, very nice job for us. Let's keep it going, guys. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep scouting the best prospects in the world, the best hockey players in the world, those Canadians up there, up across the border, up north. But Tampa Bay, let's see, how was Tampa Bay? Oh, we didn't get to see a 3-1 loss against Dallas. We got shut out by them in our last meeting, and we lose again. So that's 2 straight losses. I don't make it 3 straight losses against the Jets. They're 11-1. You guys can go ahead and beat them, a 5-1 win. So yeah, this has not been a good month. Holy crap, this has been the worst month I've ever seen. Wow. And we get an overtime. Why does it take us overtime to beat a team like the Avalanche? So guys, after being 5-2-1, we are now 11-10-1, so we went, what is that, 6-8 in that month, which is just not what you want to see, and it's not going to get it done in this Central Division. Yeah, look at that, guys. We're in 5th at 11-10-1. We are still within striking distance of the Dallas Stars, who are somehow in 1st. Let's go ahead and check the stats out as we are 22 games into the season. PK Subban having a great season. Subban. Let's go ahead and start with the forwards, though. James Neal, 21 points in 20 games. Philip Forsberg, 20 points in 22. And then Johansson's not bad, 15 and 22. Then Craig Smith having 14 and 22. Arvidsson having 14 and 22. Raquel having 13. Yarncrook with 13 on the 4th line. Good lord. P.A. Parento on that 3rd line. So where is... Colin Wilson has got 9 points, so I'm kind of glad he's on that 3rd line there. Is he complaining about ice time? Oh, he's complaining about his individual performance. Well, I would too if I only had 9 points in 22 games as a player that wants 2nd line ice time. As far as minus, we've got Smith, Arvidsson, and Raquel. That's apparently not a very good line there. You know what? I'm going to make a line change. I'm going to bump Craig Smith down. I know he's playing well, but the rest of the team here is a plus, and it's just this second line here is a minus that might have something to do with Rickard Rakell not being the best defensive player. Same thing with Victor Arvidsson. I'd like to see Colin Wilson, that really good power forward. He's a +5, so we'll see how that little shakeup affects us if we can keep the pucks out of the net. Here we go on defense. Subban is a point per game, which is fantastic for PK Subban. Ryan Ellis, just like I thought he would be, 11 and 22, which puts him on pace to finish with 40, which is what I believe he finished with. So there we go, very good simulation for him. Yossi doing just fine. So there are our defenders, and then let's check out the goalies, the big controversy guys. A 921 save percentage for Gibson and a 941 for Saros. So wow, very, very good for him. 239 is still pretty good. It's not bad, but you'd like to see, if he's going to be a top-end goalie, you'd like to see him a little bit better. But UC Saros is killing it in the backup role, although he's only got 1 win in 5 games played. So pretty interesting there. There's how the stats are shaking out through the first 2 months of the season. I think we have time to go ahead. Actually, we got plenty of time to go ahead and get another month done. It hasn't taken a long time in this video. Let's go ahead and edit the lines, though. I want to make that real quick line change. I definitely think Colin Wilson, I know he's not playing the greatest right now, but I think boosting him to the second line will make him much happier. And he'll hopefully provide that defensive edge to that second line that we need. Because he's a power forward. I don't expect him to score a lot. I expect Rickard Rakell and Arvi, to go ahead and get the point scoring done for that line. So we will go ahead and get up to January 1st here. That is my personal trade deadline, so that's probably where I'll end the video, and we'll maybe have to make a few more trades to get us over the hump and make a playoff team, unless we have a really good month right now, because, at 500, you're not going to make the playoffs, especially not in the Central Division. A 5-3 win, but followed up by a 4-1 loss. See, we can't get on a winning streak like we did in the first month, but then there's a solid 4-1 win over a terrible Avs team. The Dallas Stars, who are top of our division, we blow them out of the building, 7-2. Now we're up against Arizona, who's 15-12, good lord, but we go ahead and beat them. So there's a 3-game winning streak after I say we can't put together a winning streak. But we lost to the Blues in a shootout, which is still a point. I'm not going to complain about it. Now we got the Minnesota Wild, a 4-2 loss. Come on. Oh, this freaking Central Division. All right, Eastern Conference opponent in the Rangers. They're decent this year, 4-1 loss. And now another back-to-back, actually a road trip against Philly and New Jersey. So that's actually kind of funny. We played them back-to-back in earlier this season, or actually earlier this month. And we're going to go ahead and do it again. Let's go ahead and keep scouting those Canadians up there. 2-0 shutout loss to the... Oh my God, 5 straight losses for your Nashville Predators, but then we followed up with a 3-0 win. So we got to stop got to stop getting on these losing streaks. That's actually really, really frustrating to me. A 2-1 loss there. Come on, what the hell, guys? All right, versus Chicago, we lose 5-2, and let me guess, we lose to St. Louis too. Is it going to show me? Wow, we actually double up their score, 8-4 win, and we are in that. God. We are 17-17-2, and I kind of want to blame it on a few of my trades because this team, it was a cup contender, and now they quite aren't there. Holy crap, how are we in 6th with 36 points at this point? So Wilson wants to talk. You've been underperforming lately. Yeah, hell yeah, you have. All right, but he's a demanding player. Hopefully we got a lot of demanding players in the locker room, and these are Salamaki is a leader. Interesting. Very, very interesting to see that a 23-year-old has the player morale of a leader. Oh, I didn't check captaincy and stuff like that. Oh, I wonder who they made the captains. Shoot. All right, let's go ahead and go check out the captains and jerseys really quickly. Mike Fisher is the captain, Neil's the assistant, and Roman Yossi is also the assistant. I'm okay with that. Maybe make some change in the offseason based on who's still around and who had a good season. But now let's go ahead and check out the progress reports just to see who's growing. Philip Forsberg has grown in his puck control and his offensive awareness, which is awesome, and then agility. Gibson worked on his 5-hole, I guess, and Saros is working on his high gloves. So, interesting. In the system, we got Kevin Fiala, who appears to be ready to come up either later this season for a playoff push or next season, but he's the only one that really looks basically ready to come up. Kamenev here is still not ready. Same thing with Murphy and Pontus Aberg, but they still have a little bit of time. Trevor Murphy's a high HL top 2, and Pontus Aberg, I think he should be higher than that, but I'm not going to go crazy with our system and make it just absolutely ridiculous. Trennan's having a good year growth-wise, but there it is, guys. There's the growth. Time to check out the stats. How have we been doing? Have we been going down in minus? Or, I mean, we're pretty much a 500 team, which kind of sucks because we're 3 points out of a playoff spot. But the wild card does not actually belong to our division. God, this freaking division is so tight, guys. Like, it's just going to be a tough division up and down. All right, let's go ahead and see. Like, look at that. Colorado has 35 points, which is ridiculous. All right, we're a point per game, which is not what you want. You don't want to be a point per game team anyway. You want to be a point per game player, but not a point per game team, because that's not good enough to get you into the playoffs. But we do have a couple games in hand on teams like Chicago, St. Louis. Actually, we're tied for the fewest games played in our division. So if you think we could get maybe in the next 3 games, get a point per game. Again, I don't want to be a point per game team. I'd rather chase the Chicago Blackhawks and get, in those 3 games, get 6 points and be right up here in that 40 range is where I would want to be. We're close enough to that 40 range that I want to be at January 1st, but we're still far enough away. Let's go ahead and check out how we're doing. Holy crap, guys. We know how to put the puck in the back of the net, so we have some very, very high-powered offense. And we also have the fewest goals against in our division, I guess. Okay, what the hell am I supposed to do here? We have the most goals for, and we have the fewest goals against per game, and yet we're second last in the damn division. Let's go check out the entire league. Goals against per game, where are we? We're in the top half of the league there. Holy crap, the Rangers at 2.1, the Senators at 2.25. Montreal, the best team in the league. What the heck is that about? Washington is actually doing terrible, 21st. Although it is still January 1st, we still have a little bit of time to go, guys. Goals for per game. We are the best team. We are the best offensive team in the league, which is kind of surprising to me because I would like to see us be a better defensive team. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. You know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and go another month. I know I said I was going to wrap it up, but you know what? I don't feel like stopping just yet. It's a short video right now, so let's keep it rolling, guys. Let's get up until the All-Star break, so we have this entire month for me to decide what you guys say, what we should do. But right now, there's nothing really that looks wrong with the team. Oh, wait. Let me check out our power play stats and our penalty killing stats, because that could be what's getting us. We may not be very, very good when it comes to special teams, which is an important part of the game, as we all know. So let's see. We are the Nashville Predators, and we have a power play percentage of 27.1. That, Jesus, we're converting on almost 30% of our power plays? That's got to be best power play in the league, easily. Oh, yeah, easily over the Washington Capitals. But look at that. Top 2 power plays in the league are 21st and 22nd in the standings. Penalty kill percentage, and you know what? We're still in the top half of the league here. I'd like to see that get a little bit higher, but definitely not the reason why we're as low as we are. Guys, I think it's just right now the results aren't going our way. We're playing well, but you know, when we score 7, the other team scores 8, and when we only allow them to have 1, we get shut out. So that's kind of the thing that I'm thinking that's going on right now. Philip Forsberg is now leading the team in points, so that first line is playing pretty well together. I think it's just Neal and Forsberg, though. Well, but we'll check out the stats at the end of the video here, guys. I know I've been checking out, but I'm kind of stumped on what to do. This team is about a 500 team, but I could expect that. The goalie is certainly weaker than it should be. But we did upgrade our center core, and I think our defense is fantastic now with Cody Ceci there. Let's go ahead and simulate up to this All-Star break here. Hopefully we have a better month. It seems like we got a lot of Eastern Conference opponents coming up. All right, Kevin Fiala is happy down there, and we beat the best team in the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens, followed by Tampa Bay, a 5-2 win, and then against Florida, who's a sub-500 team. We lose in a shootout, but that's still a point. I just want points now. That's all I want. Let's go ahead and take on Chicago. No offers. I don't care. I made enough trades. We lose to Chicago, this freaking Central Division. Versus Vancouver, a 3-0 win. That's very important against a bad Boston team, it looks like. A 3-1 win for us against Colorado, who is in our division, is 17-21-3, so they're starting to fall off. We get the win there. So, a very, very fine first 2 weeks of the month for us as I go ahead and scout defensemen in the OHL. So a 3-game point streak, a loss, and then 3 straight wins. Let's see if we can keep it going against Vancouver. We do a 2-0 shutout wins. That's wow. In 1 week we shut out Vancouver twice. But then we got a point against Calgary, which is good, against a young, apparently really good Edmonton team. We win 4-1. So a very, very good January for us, guys. It changes my mentality about this team quite a bit. A 3-2 overtime loss. That's still a point. And then we go ahead and beat the Buffalo Sabres with a solid 4-1 win. And then the Blue Jackets we take down 3-2. 2, and we are now at the All-Star break at 26, 18, and 5, guys. Locker room chemistry is up there at 86%, and look at that, guys. We have now solidified ourselves in the playoff hunt as a top team. We're chasing the Minnesota Wild. Wow. Are you kidding me? 48 games through the season, the Minnesota Wild have yet to lose in overtime or a shootout. That's pretty impressive. They have 60 points. We have 57. We're about 50 games into the season, 49. But there's still a lot can change. Winnipeg is only 6 points behind us, which at this point of the season is starting to drop a little bit or become a bigger gap for us. So a very, very fine couple of weeks for us. Really, really happy with how it turned around. The puck started bouncing our way, and we started getting the results that we were earning. You know, best offensive team and best defensive team, or well, not the best defensive team, but the best offensive team and a top defensive team in the league should be winning. Should be actually part of the top of their division. We shouldn't be in 6th out of 7 place. All right, now stats-wise, Philip Forsberg actually isn't scoring. The scorer on this line is James Neal, which makes sense. He's got the wrist shot power and accuracy both at 90, but Philip Forsberg is 22, guys, and listed as a first-line forward, which is amazing. He's got 46 points in 49 games. Our first line is playing well. Obviously, the odd man out in this is Johansson, because our defense is probably helping Neal and Forsberg score quite a bit, but Johansson's actually got the second most goals on that line. Then Craig Smith on that third line doesn't seem to have slowed down at all. The minus actually went down for Arvidsson and Raquel. And Smith became a plus. P.A. Parenteau's a great plus. Wow, look at that first line, guys. The plus-minus of that first line is crazy. And Colin Wilson, again, you know what? I might want to trade him away. I know he's listed as a second-line forward, but he's only got 19 points in 49 games. I know he's a +7, but I think I can definitely get a younger, better winger for that second or third line. Maybe a good bottom 6 defensive guy that I could put on the penalty kill. Yeah, Mike Fisher's taking a lot of penalties for us, which is probably not good because he's probably on our penalty kill unit. But there we go, guys. The stats-wise, Rickard Rakell, not too bad, 25 points in about 50 games, so that's probably going to be a 40-plus point player. 41 points in 82 games is what I'd expect him to be at. Hopefully, I'd see him crack 50 as we have a better second half of the month after the trade deadline. But let's go ahead and check out our defensemen now. PK Subban is basically almost, he's close to a point per game. 43 points in 49 games is fantastic. Roman Josi is now up there as well. Ryan Ellis is, again, still on pace to have 40 points, which he did in real life. So, nice to see that the simulation matches what real life happened. Very, very good plus down here. Cody Cece's actually got 6 goals and 7 points, so only 1 assist. But, yeah, that slap shot power at 90, but accuracy is only at 77. Good lord. I'd like to see him be a better offensive player, but as a defensive player, he's certainly not leaving anything. Yeah, he's really happy to be here, too, so I'm happy to have him here on the team. But yeah, Subban and Josi and Ellis, these 3 guys are taken off. Matthias Ekholm, I guess I could have edited him just a little bit. But like I said, I didn't want to beef up this roster too much. Right now, I think we're perfect as far as simulation and points and everything are concerned, because this team is not, they were the 16th seed, quote unquote, in the playoffs. They were the worst team to make the playoffs, and now they're in the Stanley Cup in real life. So pretty exciting there. Gibson's got 2 points, so he's contributing on the offensive end. That's why I got him, guys, was because he was going to get points for us. He was going to help make us a bona fide... No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so wow, his save percentage is still at 929. Actually went up from a month ago. UC Saros did drop off a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. 908 is okay as my backup goaltender. I'm not too concerned about it. 203 goal against average for John Gibson. So anyone that said trading away Pecorine for John Gibson, this is... He's playing pretty well, and with medium elite potential, with the contract he's got for 3 more years, at 23 years of age, I'm really excited to see what our goaltending core is going to be like for the future. So there are the stats, guys. Let's go ahead and check out the league standings. I'm pretty, like I said, we are now second in our division here. Let's see. I'm pretty sure our goals for actually we're still at 3.3. We're above 3 goals per game, and goals against per game. We're still the best in our division. How are we doing against the entire league? We are now the 4th best defensive team in the league and the #1 offensive team in the league. So that's like I said, guys, This team is great offensively and defensively. It's mostly because they have such solid offensive defensemen. I know Yossi and Subban are listed as two-way defensemen, but they can definitely do both in real life. Subban is very, very good offensively as he is defensively. So I expect us to have a very, very good run to finish the season. We had a little bit of a slower start to start the season, but I'm not too upset about that. Power play percentage, still the #1 power play in the league, ahead of the Capitals by 1.9%. And then the penalty kill percentage actually did rise. We are now, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th in the league in penalty killing percentage. In our last 10, we are 7-1-2. Only the Wild, Flames, well, there's actually a lot of teams that have been hotter. But yeah, we've been pretty hot recently. That is, what, 16 out of a possible 20 points? Yeah, I'll take 16 out of 20 points any day of the week. So there it is, guys. Let's go ahead and flip through the trade block to see just who, we might want to go ahead and get. Wow, look at that locker room chemistry up at 86%. Do I not do anything at the trade deadline? Because I certainly don't want to screw up that chemistry. I just want to show you guys how much Colin Wilson has in far as trade value, and that's not bad trade value. He's got more trade value than a low elite prospect, so I could maybe trade him for somebody in that range. Let's go ahead and check out the trade block, though, like I said, because I want to see what kind of trades could I make, because definitely Colin Wilson is the guy that I would consider getting rid of this team. He's been the most underperforming player, and I've boosted his ice time, so look at that. They are really happy to have Pekka Rinne in Anaheim, and they now are trying to get rid of Jonas Enroth. I could go ahead and get Datsuk for the season, which would be a one-season move. We have the cap space to do it, and getting rid of Colin Wilson wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get a guy who's putting up, 40 points so far in about 50 games. He'd be a great second-line forward for us. Anyway, we'll keep on looking here. Brian Gianta, no thank you. Calgary's just giving up picks. Here in Carolina, they're not giving up anything. They don't have anything worth of value. They want to give up their first, but that's probably not going to be a lot of value. Boscheman, but we don't really need defensemen, so sorry about that. Which is actually a first for me. There's Patrick Sharp, guys. He's only under contract for 1 more year. He's actually a very, very good goal scorer, which could definitely help out that second line. He is a minus player, though, so not the greatest defensively, but I certainly don't think he would hurt the team if we went out and got Patrick Sharp. 23 goals and 18 assists, that's 51 points in about 50 games, which is a very, very good player. We probably wouldn't have to give up a lot more than Colin Wilson. Zetterberg is another guy on the trade block. Same thing with Cromwell, but that would be just way too many elite defenders. I mean, good lord. And he's got 5 years left at $6 million. No, thank you. Matt Hendricks here, no thanks. Jaromir Jagr for a year, we could go out and get him. He's got 18 goals and 20 assists, so 38 points in about, how many games have you played? 50 games. He's a plus player, though, but he's not going to be a revolutionary point guy. He's only under contract for 1 more year, and he's probably going to retire, is what I'd assume. LA's got Ben Bishop on the block, which I'm not going to go ahead and trade for. Stalock and Berchi, that's not, no thanks. Nope. Jason Chimera here. He'd be a good third-line forward. Very, very good defensively. He's a -2, though. Never mind. Although, he can't carry the load defensively. He's 37 with 2 years left on his contract. Don't expect that to happen. Medium top 9 forward here I could go ahead and get. And maybe they have a bottom 6 forward that I could go ahead and acquire, too, from New York. Get a prospect and a bottom 6 forward for maybe Wilson and a draft pick. I'm not going to argue with that. Nothing really of value on these guys. Matt Murray's on the trade block, guys. Why don't we do what every NHL GM mode guy does and go ahead and trade for Matt Murray? And I know I'm taking a shot at myself too, guys. I'm not ripping on anybody. Balser's here. He's a pretty good player. 19. Again, we could get a bottom 6 player from the San Jose Sharks and get Balsers as well. So I'm kind of thinking, do we add more future talent with trading away Colin Wilson? Or do we go ahead and get ourselves a solidified second-line player who we're going to have to probably give up some of the future for? Here in St. Louis, they don't have a lot to trade away. Yeah, not anything there in Tampa. I'm just looking at the trade block. If you guys have an idea of who you want me to go get, I could go ahead and get a Sedin twin. Daniel Sedin, the sniper. He's got 23 goals and 20 assists. He'd be a great player to add to the team. I believe I added Henrik in my last GM mode, but Daniel is a very, very good wing winger who isn't too expensive as far as trade value is concerned. The Capitals, not a lot as far here. And then there is the Winnipeg Jets trade block. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look at the Vancouver Canucks. I'm going to look at Daniel Sedin. I know he's got 2 years left at $7 million, but we did clear up a lot of cap space. I believe we have over $8.5 million. Just a little bit more than, I think, what is that, $6 million? Okay, so we got about $6 million. Oh, that'd be with him. Jesus, that would be with him. I'm pretty sure they already add that in there. So there we go, guys. That's what it would be. Look up for one. I'd probably have to give up more than just Wilson, but we would get a serious top 6 forward here. Because the question is, do we go out and get a top 6 forward for Wilson, or do we go out and get a bottom 6 forward and trust in what Craig Smith can do? Because he's having a very fantastic season, both offensively and defensively. As we go ahead and check out his numbers here, he's got plenty of trade value. He's only 27. His contract, he's on a pretty decent contract. Not too bad. I wouldn't mind moving him, though. I do believe Colin Wilson's contract is a little bit more favorable. Not too much, but you're not going to be paying too much less for a decent second-line forward. And he's got 14 goals and 17 assists, shooting 13%, 13.5% for Craig Smith is fantastic. Holy crap. Yeah, we got a guy like Arvidsson shooting 8%. Same thing with Rickard Rakell. He's putting goals in. That's without a doubt. Colin Wilson's also shooting at 13.4%. So these guys are shooting well, but Colin Wilson just doesn't take shots. It looks like he's got a high percentage, but not on a lot of shots. So I'm really, really happy with Craig Smith. I didn't even like have him in my future plans, but this looks like a guy I don't want to give away. He's a really good second-line player, and he'll provide good defensive minutes. As you can see, he's got really good face-offs for us, too. He's actually better than Rickard Rakell on face-off, so maybe he's our second-line center, and I shift Rickard Rakell over to the wing. I don't know what to do. You guys go ahead and let me know, but we got to make the decision. Top 6 forward for Wilson and something, or Wilson for a bottom 6 forward and something. So we can do Wilson for 2 lower-level assets, or Wilson and an asset for a really, really good top 6 player. But that's it, guys. That's it for this video. We are at the All-Star break. Not a lot has been happening. We can go ahead and check out what's going on around the league, but there it is, guys. That's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. Let's go ahead, and nobody's trading, so we might be the first team to trade. So like I said, subscribe if you want to see some more Smashville action here. As we take on the Penguins in the very next game. Oh boy. That should be a fun one. Actually, you know what? I'm not quite ready to end the video yet. I want to check out the progress reports. Now that we're over halfway through the season, players actually progress. So I want to see who's doing what. Forsberg, again, not a lot of growth up here in the majors, which is pretty interesting. In the majors, Jesus. Up in the NHL. Actually, that's false. These guys could be growing more than 1 point, but only one category is being affected. I believe 22 is the amount of categories you can have. And Fiala is growing pretty well, but nothing's really changed from not too long ago. So there it is, guys. I will start my outro again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see some more Nashville Predators GM mode. And I will see you guys in the next one.